Alright, hello everybody. Just a little quick announcement before I start this video. If you don't care, go ahead and skip to this time frame right here. There you go, it's right there. Go ahead and skip now. Alright, so if you've been watching my channel for a while, great, thank you, I appreciate it. If you have been one of my regulars, you know that I'm very consistent with the way I upload. I do it every other day basically. Get all my videos out as fast as I can, as accurately as I can make them. Recently, I've not been able to do the reviews I want to do. My workload has increased lately, so I haven't been able to obviously turn out as many videos as I want, unfortunately. Besides that, though, incidentally, I'm going on vacation. It's a little vacation. I'm taking a little break, essentially. Not leaving, just a little break. All right, I'm gonna go away for like a week, or give or take a week, and then that's basically that, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about this. You guys have a nice day. Enjoy the video. See ya. Alright, everybody, how's it going? We're back for Vindland Saga. We're here, boys. Woo! Getting dangerous. I think I said this last one. Dangerously close to the end. We're almost there. It's almost done. However, Mappa seems very intent on just milking this fucking cow, just jerking us all off so much right now. They are taking their sweet time to end this fucking season. I'm not complaining, but in some ways I am, because this episode quite slow. The pacing not so great in this episode. There's not a whole lot that actually happens. We get two pivotal moments for the story in this arc, right? We get our moment with Almar and what he's up to, and then what Thorfinn is going through. Other than that, though, everything is sort of superficial, but not really. We're gonna get into it, obviously, of course. And why don't we just jump right into it? I'm not saying I didn't like the episode. It's a bit slow for my taste, especially when we're coming up towards the end and I already know what's happening. So I know they're stretching this shit out just a little bit, and it's a bit aggravating. Rather, go a little bit faster, but that's okay. So here we are. It's pretty much the end of the battle. Everyone's basically licking their wounds, right? The king's also licking his wound. Not really, but we know what's up. They're basically sending out emissaries over to Ketel. Even though the battle's done, the Canute is the victor. He doesn't want to kill Ketel, or his people more than he has to. He's still showing mercy. So they're asking for another round of surrender from them. Canute doesn't want to be forced to do anything he doesn't want to do, which is nice of Canute. Even though he is a strong man now, he's still, this is all part of his plan. He can't just go around killing and pillaging these people that are Nordic men. It would not jive well with the community he's trying to foster, right? It won't work. It would cause more conflict later down the road. He knows these things. We know these things, and that's essentially the situation. Now they're all getting ready for that. Floki even comes in with a comment. He's like, "My camps don't want to wait out here. Let them use the fucking houses that the villagers have." And Canute's is like, "No, fuck off, Floki. They're not going to do that. They're going to be pillaging and raping these people." And Floki's like, "Well, yeah, we are the winners." And that's what happens. Canute's like, "No, I have a different reward for all your soldiers who helped me today. Just fuck off. Don't worry about all that." And Floki's like, We see inklings of Floki's betrayal. I think I said it before, where he is not on Canute's team. Right? Not everyone's on Canute's team, not even his allies. Allies are like enemies, right? Back then, they flip flop around from situation to situation. This is just how these things go. Back in the day, I mean, this is just how things go in general in life. One day your best friend could become your mortal enemy, and you'll start fucking having a fist fight for no reason or some stupid shit for whatever dumb reason ever, right? We're in that kind of situation. That will be the next arc. Let me just state it out. Floki's betrayal. Crazy shit. Oh man, boy, will season 3 be a fucking wild one. All right, but that's that situation. We get vestiges of King Swine, Canute's father, telling him "Oh, you're still being merciful, even though we basically killed all these villagers." Ha ha ha. It's quite funny. King Swine's influence still weighing heavily upon Canute's subconscious, and his conscious here doesn't really know. He's having trouble compartmentalizing the evil deeds he's having to do in order for his goal. He's a resolute man though. This is the path he has chosen. And other paths will collide soon, but not in this episode. I would hope it would have been this episode, but no, they stretched it out just a little too thin. So here we go. We go back to Einar. Einar's still mourning Arnhis. That's okay. We get all that nice sentimentality in the music from those scenes. Pretty great. What happens? What's more important now, after this? It's been, the battle's over. Everyone's here at like the like Snake's Fort, I believe, is where it is. Omar comes through. This is super crucial for Omar going forward. He has changed dramatically in this episode. I mean, we've seen the change very slightly, very minimally, because we didn't get a lot like from him and from his perspective, because he didn't really talk much. But I believe it was like last episode, he even like admitted that he could never be like his brother. Back during like maybe that was episode 19, I believe, actually. But you get the point. He's been, he's not the same whiny bitch he was after he killed that man. He's more remorseful. So he comes upon his fellow, townspeople, all of his hands, all the villagers that worked here on the farm. Everyone is fucked. Absolutely, this was not a battle at all. This was an absolute massacre. It was there was no chance of winning ever. Didn't matter. There's no doubt that everything is fucked after this. Their whole farm, it does, their farm's gone basically. Omar comes through all this basically carnage, and he's just not having it. He is, panicked. He's having not spasms, but like heart palpitations of some kind. He's having trouble breathing, and this is just not what he wants, right? And he gets called by one of his I believe his, what would you call it, his like consorts, one of his mistresses, just a lady he would fuck, basically, his girlfriend, quote unquote, and her father. They're like, oh, help our family. His arms are literally chopped, both of his arms gone. This man can never work again. Goodbye him. He probably will die. Not important, doesn't matter. What is important is that, he sees the vestiges of the man he kills, like the guy who made fun of him, couldn't even kill a pig, and he starts throwing up, and he's having a horrible time. Omar is, he's not he is not in the right space. We gotta get this man a safe space. Okay, that's not where this place is. We gotta get him out of here. Okay, he deserves it. He deserves it, even after he sort of started this whole situation. That's okay. So we're gonna go back. We go back to where his mom is. Basically, we're Snake and Thorgil. Thorgil's still alive. He's still kicking. And the old master, we actually see the old master after, a long time again, finally doing something. Where was he? I guess he was just in this place, this house the entire time with his in-law, right? And they're basically deciding whether to continue fighting or to surrender, right? This is an extremely hard decision. Not really. But for them it's hard because they're all obviously Nordic men and they want to continue to fight. They don't want to accept the losses they've already had. So the only way to like really recoup that is to then kill the king, right? So Thorgil is all about that, obviously. So Thorgil's here is like, yes, let's go in. I can get 20 good men, basically, and we can just like go kill the king. It won't matter, even though he's like sort of injured. His arm is like fucked up. Thorgil is a maniac. All right, we all know he is an absolute fucking maniac. Okay, so he wants to go in there and just kill motherfuckers. Unfortunately, it's not up to him. So he asks Snake, like, what do you want to do? He's like, I'll just, wait for the head to decide. That's, my job. That's my duty, which it is. The master here, the old Keto, is like, it's not my decision either. Because Keto is over there basically knocked out. He's unconscious. You are not the heir, Thorgil. Omar is actually the heir. He is the one who gets to decide, which is kind of crazy how the master would pick him as heir, given what we all know of Omar up before the point back at fucking King Harold's like little sanctioned city or whatever, his town. But that it is up to him. It is his decision, and this is an extremely important turning point. Omar comes in. They ask him, all right, what are you gonna do? Thorgil actually tries to goad him into like, yeah, come on, Omar, be with me. We'll kill these guys. Let's do it together, you and me, brother. Omar's like, no, I'm not doing it. We will surrender. This is the decision I have made. A complete. This is great character development from someone who is so fucking annoying to a point where you're just like, I don't want to see him at all on screen in any capacity, none whatsoever. To now, after his horrible ordeal, you finally figured out like what his path would be. He's like, no, that's not what's gonna happen. I've been made fun of. This is essentially my fault in a way. I let this happen, and I just can't take the pain of seeing all these people die. And he will never. He understands he will never be one of the like a strong man like his brother or like Snake. And this is all he can do, and he just wants the pain to end. If like, if they believe what King Canute says, there'll be no more killing after this. And he's like, okay, we're gonna do that. Snake is on board with this. He's like, okay, yeah, I agree with you. His mom is like heartbroken. Thorgal extremely angry, not very happy about this decision. He wants to go kill Canute. Obviously, he wants more battle. He wants to do all that fun shit that Nordic men do. And this is a nice part as well. Ormar says, I don't care what any of you think. You can laugh at me if you want. This is a decision I made. Snake makes a nice little comment to him. He's like, I will not laugh at you, Omar, and come with me. We'll go to Canute together. Unbeknownst to them, Thorfinn is on his way to the camp right now. I wonder what's going to happen there. But, just a little... so, also, Thorgold goes ahead of him. He's like, shut up, you guys are cowards. Fuck off. We get a nice other scene here. Displaying the wider themes of this series as a whole. Just gaining wealth and power. People will become then obsessed with said wealth and power, and it'll be like the only thing you seek. And all the wealth and power you seeked doesn't mean that you have lost everything. Even though it seems now you've lost all these things, you've still gained something else, and that is that your son has become a real man. Not a real man in the fighting sense, but a man who can make a decision that will help foster, maybe not control, but help the people around him. How does one be a man, right? All these, there are many ways you could go about it. Be strong, be smart, be kind, and protect your family, basically. These are the things that the old master has learned in his infinite wisdom as the old man that he is, that these are true qualities that a man needs to have in order to progress through his life. And obviously, man, Ketel doesn't hear any of this because he's fucking unconscious. But, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Einar, we cut back. Einar, realizing what's happened to Thorfinn, goes to leave. He's like, hey, why would you let him do this? Leave is like, I have no choice. I own Ed to him and his father. He was my friend. I'll just stay here and wait for him. I trust Thorfinn. And he's like, shit, I gotta go get him back. Can't let him die there. He doesn't. But Einar doesn't like understand the situation with him and Canute, like, because this is like one of the things that Thorfinn has not explained at all. He hasn't revealed that information, which is smart. He shouldn't have. That would be, he can't anyway. But this is the turning point, basically, of this whole scenario. We're supposed to get this beautiful interaction between Canute and Thorfinn and their ideals clashing for the first time and seeing how they've both changed in each other's perspectives. And see, that doesn't happen. They milk that shit. They don't do it this episode. It's definitely going to be next episode. I hope anyway. But we get a pretty baller moment, just before any of that cool dialogue pieces come in. So Thorfinn just goes in there alone. He explains to them, listen, my name is Thorfinn, son of Thor's. I'm here to see your king. They're like, we don't know who you are. We don't know why you're here. Are you servant? Are you messenger Ketel? And they're like, oh, you're a slave, basically. And they basically brush him off, with a laugh and a smirk, making fun of him. He is small and tiny. They don't know who he is, of course. They did. They'd be dead. Anyway, they're just going to essentially fight Thorfinn. This guy here is the main man, basically bullying him. Thorfinn just very clearly is like, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to fight. He is a pacifist now. Thorfinn, you pussy. You should just knock this man out. Knock everyone out here. You probably could. Maybe not unscathed, but you could win. Because you're that strong, Thorfinn. You know this. Anyway, this is not what he wants to do. He's just there. He's like, yes, I just want to see the king. Please, he knows me. I was his guard at one point in time, and this guy here, he just punches him. He's like, "You were his guard, you tiny little smelly man," and a fight breaks out essentially. Uh, but during this fight, when they're roughhousing, Wolf comes up to them, Floki and Canute. He's like, they're like, "All right, what's all this roughhousing about?" Well, there appears to be a guy here. Says his name is Thorfinn, son of Thor's. Yeah, who is that? Canute's like, what? He's a small man? He's like, yep, exactly. Canute's immediately like, I know who that is. He's like, what do you want to do, your majesty? You want to go meet him? He's like, no, I don't. Canute, you bitch, you know you want to talk to your boy Thorfinn. You know you want him on your team. Obviously, it's what you want to do. He's severed all ties to the past, essentially, after what happened during that fateful day. And Floki's like, wait, the son of Thor's? Obviously, Thor's was part of the Joms Vikings during that point in time before he died to Askeladd. So there's, but things are going to collide soon, though. Don't worry. In the next episode. As far as what's happening here, Thorfinn is just easily dodging all of this guy's attacks. I believe his name is Dort or Draught or something like that. A weird Viking name. The crowd's going wild. They're making fun of Drort, too, because they can't even hit him once. Anyway, Einar shows up, and he's like, all right, let's just hurry up and get the fuck out of here. We don't have to be here anymore. Let's please just go. Thorfinn, my god. Thorfinn's like, no, I have a job to do. I'm going to stay here and do it. This is when something interesting happens. They're all like, it doesn't matter if you try to leave anyway. We're just going to kill you. Right now, we're just sort of betting on you. They're all the men here are taking bets, waiting to see how long it takes for Thorfinn to either die or become unconscious. Obviously, dying is the more extreme. Their bets as high as, and they're like hand-to-hand death, right, with no weapons. Their bets as high as like 90 hits before you like start screaming and running. Thorfinn decides like, okay, I'm gonna bet on myself, you guys. What's the highest bet at right now? And the guy's like, I think there's a bet up into 90 right now at the moment. How about this? If you can survive one of his punches 100 times, we will let you meet the king. Thorfinn's like, fucking deal, all right? This is what it happens. The 100 punch challenge, okay? Let's go. Einar's like, please just wait for Ketil. Thorfinn's like, no, we can do this right now. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Thorfinn gets himself ready. He's like, I thank you for all your help, Einar, and everything that's happened on this farm. I'm ready for this. Doesn't matter. I'm used to being punched, and I'm ready. That's basically the end of the episode there. We get into this nice little end here. We get a nice little climax where Thorfinn's finally going to show some of his stuff more. We get a little more flex from Thorfinn, which is nice. And then after that, we'll get like the final talk with Canute and Thorfinn. Hopefully, unless they drag it out even further. Who knows? Maybe next episode, this fucking like fight will be like 20 minutes long for no reason at all. Even though it does not need to be that long. But it would be funny. Anyway, I like this episode. I like the new characterization for Omar. How he's deciding to like finally do something about his life. He doesn't want to be a killer. He's not a warrior. That's pretty much like the big point in this episode. Just like more character changing. And then the escalation of trying to meet Canute and what we have to do to get there. Nothing really huge. I mean, all the huge stuff already like laid out and happened, right? The war is over, so we get another nice long break before any, exceedingly horrible circumstances appear, out of nowhere. Oh, we gotta do this stuff first. It was a nice episode. The animation was alright. Wasn't as good as the last ones. The music in this episode was okay. Wasn't as great as some other episodes. The pacing was just a bit slow. I still like it. I still like the characterization and the progression of what could be considered this plot. It's not very fast, but it's what we have. That's basically it for this episode, guys. Tell me what you think, alright? I'm pretty much done rambling. Hope you guys have a nice night. Catch you all later. See ya.